And it's Ken Kreitzer for CBSI Services. We're in Washington, D.C. today at the PACE Association Washington Summit. Have a chance to talk with Stuart, who's the chairman of the organization from Allied Global. Stuart, a great day. You had some notable speakers this morning, starting off with Alex Castellanos. What was the day like for you?
Today was actually a great day. Alex was phenomenal. Gave us a perspective of what's going on in Washington from his point of view, so it was informative. Got us going for the day. Then we heard from Lois Groisman from the FTC, who's basically responsible for consumer protection and has been at several of our conferences, and it's always enlightening to know what's on the mind of the FTC, as our members don't want to hear from her. They'd rather hear from her today than in another fashion. We had great speakers all day. This is probably the most important event of the contact center industry, as we get a chance to hear from regulators, collaborate on some ideas and about the issues of the day, and there's a lot of issues in the contact center industry today.
Absolutely. We heard Jim Noble and several other speakers talk about different ways to give the consumer more choice in the phone calls they want to receive. There was a new technique called stir and shake, which was new to me, but it's been in development by members of this association for a while. Tell us a little bit about that, if you would.
Shake it and stir came from the FTC and FCC's robocall strike force. It's a way to authenticate who's making the call so consumers can see whether it's a call that they want or they don't want. It's a spoof call, a spam call. So it's a way to stop robocallers from using numbers that are really not theirs. So that's a solution so that the industry will be able to deal with, as well as the consumer. Right now, calls are being blocked by the carriers in a fashion that's actually hurting the industry, and that's one of our major issues here.
Now, we heard from Michelle Schuster, from an attorney from Columbus, Ohio, about different elements of trying to have companies being compliant, and also showing what happens when a company is not, citing the Dish Network case. What did you see in that? I mean, how did a case go so badly for that particular company?
That went bad because they didn't do what they were supposed to do. They allowed vendors to do what they wanted to do. They didn't abide by do not call lists. They didn't abide by calling times. And that's what happens when you're not compliant. When the seller doesn't require its vendors to do what's supposed to do. We at PACE have a self-regulatory organization where companies can actually get audited and go through extensive audits, actually, to prove that they're compliant. It's all done by certified auditors. And so, you know, if Dish would have been a self-regulatory organization certified company, they probably wouldn't have had a problem, but it cost them $280 million versus the $10,000 it might have been to get certified.
So we heard a little bit from Alex Castellanos that the new administration and their cabinet is much more business friendly. They're much more responsive. Tomorrow you're going to lead a delegation to Capitol Hill to talk to members of Congress about the contact center industry, and always reminding people and members of Congress about how many people are employed by this industry. What are you looking forward to saying to members of Congress tomorrow?
Several things. One is we want them to know who we are. It's an education opportunity to let them know what PACE is, and more important, what the people that are going with us on the actual Hill visits are people who own companies, who work for companies that do provide jobs in the districts of these congressmen or in the states where the senators are. We want to educate them on this robocall labeling and blocking issue, which is really big, which is actually going to affect the political parties when they start making their calls in the 2018 election cycle. They're going to find out that a lot of their calls are going to be blocked. So we have a pretty healthy agenda that's actually very timely tomorrow, and so we expect some good things tomorrow.
And sir, just maybe tell us a little bit about your company, Allied Global.
Allied Global is a contact center and BPO company headquartered in Guatemala. It has contact centers all throughout Latin America. It has 7 centers in the United States. We provide inbound and outbound services to clients like Comcast, Charter, SiriusXM, and many others. We are the largest contact center BPO company now in Central America.
And just what's the best thing for you about hosting this Washington Summit on behalf of the Professional Association for Customer Engagement?
I'm passionate about the industry. I've been in the contact center industry for 40 years, and it's It's important. It creates jobs. It helps the U.S. economy. And just being with a lot of people, a lot of smart people who are also dedicated to the industry is really important and definitely worthwhile as well.
Well, great for us at CBSI to be able to participate. Stuart Discount, the chairman of the Professional Association for Customer Engagement, great to see you. And we'll look for another big day tomorrow.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Our pleasure. This is Ken Kreitzer for CBSI Services in Washington, D.C.